Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
You catered your own wedding, which I feel is so much stress on top of an already stressful day.
I think this would be worse than DJing your wedding. I remember when I was getting married, everyone's like, oh, you're going to DJ your own wedding? And I'm like, can you shut up? Because that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a silly thought. But I do know somebody else in our business that DJ'd part of her own wedding recently.
You did?
Yeah, not me, but somebody else that works in radio. Then she just got married recently. She DJ'd part of her wedding. I saw it on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm like, wow.
I mean, if you have the equipment and you can just set it to go.
No, she was in there mixing records for her guests.
Really?
They were like taking requests.
All right.
And I was like, you go, girl. So that's the question. Did you cater your own wedding? And Tracy, I appreciate you being on hold because this sounds like a heavy burden.
I know, but, we had to save some money, and I'm a pretty good cook, so I really didn't find it to be, like, a big deal for me.
Yeah.
But when my sister helped me, that's when it became a huge ordeal.
Why? What happened?
So she was helping, and she was in charge of bringing in the chicken. And she didn't tell me, but basically what ended up happening is that all these people, all of my guests, and I'm talking like 300 people, right? Good, 75% of them got sick with salmonella. Like terrible sick. Some of them were in the hospital. It was really bad.
So wait, why was it your sister's fault? What did she do with the chicken?
Because later on, I'm telling you, like a year later, we were drunk. She was more drunk than me, obviously. She decided to confess that night before, she had left the chicken in her trunk. And it was like 8 degrees where we were.
Did you physically assault her at this point? I mean, because this would probably be violence.
Yeah, I was and we do get violent, her and I, so I was so mad. She thought she could just rinse it and it would be okay. She was kind of panicking. Yeah. She wanted to make everything work out for me. So I understand, she was trying, but at the same time, you don't do that. Like, come on.
You're lucky nobody died.
Yeah, imagine.
So we had baseball this weekend. It was at a complex, and so they had these big boulders that were separating the parking lot from the actual complex, so people couldn't drive over people.
I think the drive over people is I don't think that's the reason. I think they put those boulders out there, so number one, so people don't drive onto the fields.
Okay, but if this car didn't hit the boulder, it would have hit a person. It was like right next to the playground.
Yeah, I think that's
a pavilion.
I think that's a byproduct. I don't know if they're putting. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. If you design baseball complexes and you want to call real quick, but I think they do it to make sure people don't drive out there and they burn donuts into the baseball field.
They did their job. The boulders did, because there was a sedan that had taken a right, so it didn't go right into a truck because the sedan was going the wrong way in the parking lot and veers off, and half of the vehicle, which has me thinking, like, how fast was it even going, was up on the boulder.
Yeah, you would think the bumper would just hit and it would stop, right?
Nope, it didn't. It was half up there. I'm like, way to ruin your car, dummy. But then I started thinking I did ruin my car. When I first got it, I got my brand new Ford Focus for my parents on Christmas. And we had this long school line every single morning. And it was at the end of my block. It would go right up the driveway of my high school. And so I got in the line. I took a right, got in the line. And my neighbor was in front of me. And he had one of those Jeeps with the metal bumper. So like nothing could possibly hurt his vehicle. Sure. And I wasn't paying attention, fiddling with my radio, and then just rammed right into the back of his car.
How much damage?
It cracked the front bumper, and it was because it was fiberglass, and so it just cracked it in half. Never got it fixed. I have no idea. My brother inherited my car, so I was like, dang. My mom was so mad.
Hey,
she was like really sad.
Madison, you kind of wrecked the car. What happened?
I actually drove our car into the lake. Doing a 3-point turnaround during my driver's training.
Jesus.
I didn't drive the whole car into the lake. I just kind of backed the back end of it.
And so what do you do when you back the back of your car into the lake?
I pulled forward and kept driving.
Of course.
Oh my God. Have you ever seen Wanderlust with Jennifer Aniston and Paul Rudd?
No.
Oh, Key Peele, Michael Peele or whatever from Key and Peele.
Oh, Jimmy Peele.
Nope.
Jimmy Key.
He drove the vehicle into the lake, and he does a cut two. He's like, how did it get in there? He's like, blah, 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 and cut two. It's in the lake. How does that even happen?
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
You wrecked your own vehicle. Like, you just... and you want to tell us about it? We want to hear about it. Sad.
Radio Paparazzi.
Harry Styles is the latest celebrity to take part in the BBC series Bedtime Stories, and I think it's pretty cute. They get in their comfy pajamas and they read to kids.
Hello, I'm Harry. Welcome to my house. I love it here. I like to listen to music and read and hang out with my friends.
Nice.
Tonight's bedtime story is about a house full of love and laughter, with pictures by Lily Leveling.
It's not. It's actually pretty cute. And then the story starts to just move along.
So does the BBC air this, like, on one of their stations?
Big celebs do it, Elton John.
And the parents just have their kids tune in before bedtime? Is that what happens?
Why not? I think it's kind of cute. All right, live with Kelly and Ryan. Ryan Seacrest explaining why he had a little whisper in his ear. They went to commercial during the finale of American Idol, and the producer's like, hey, buddy.
We need to change your underwear. I said, what do you mean we need to change my underwear? Apparently, America voted and decided that there was anatomy in the shot.
There was. 100%. There was, but I mean, that can't be real.
It's because he shops in the 12-year-old division for clothing.
Yeah.
That guy is always wearing tight stuff.
It was
It's uncomfortable for me to watch.
Yeah. How could you not see it? And then they come back from commercial and he took the underwear off one of the backstage crew members. He's like, give me your underwear. Jeez. And so they swapped underwear. How gross.
Some guy's making $12 an hour holding a boom mic, having to give his underwear to Ryan Seacrest.
That was actual audio Channing Tatum at a restaurant. He is doing his London premiere of Magic Mike, and they were out at a restaurant, and he had these people thrown out of a restaurant because he thought they were taking pictures of him, which they probably were, but they were like, no, we were just taking group photos of each other, and you happen to be in the background. That's not our problem. But he's like, you're out of here, and got him thrown out. It's like, you're a celebrity walking around London. You can't act like that. It's not right.
Get room service if you don't want people to take pictures of you.
Exactly.
I hate that crap.
Blowing out their candles today, we have Mr. John C. Reilly, funny guy, turning 57. Priscilla Presley is 77, and Patti LaBelle is 78 today.
I had to have surgery.
Plastic surgery.
You up for some serious plastic surgery?
I want you to speak to her about plastic surgery.
All right, so this is kind of weird that people in their early 20s are the ones getting the most liposuction right now, as opposed to exercising. They say Gen Z would rather go to a plastic surgeon than have some time at the gym. Yeah, get the fat sucked out of their chin, their belly. Chin liposurgery is $4,000. Can cost as much as $5,000.
It's a different culture. It's immediate gratification culture, and if you can go in and be away from your friends for 3 days and heal up versus the couple of months it's going to take, it's just the way it is. It's not. I don't blame them. It's just the environment they grew up in.
They came out with the 15 most common lies that people tell their partners. I have the top 3. Number 3, pretending a new purchase was on sale. I'm
Trisha,
not guilty of it.
Are you listening to this, Trisha?
I normally buy things that are on sale, but I definitely make it known when I get home. He's like, oh, I really like that. And I'm like, yeah, $3.99.
I'll just go. Here's the thing. I hear the garage door open, and when I walk out, I'll go, do you need help with anything? And if she says yes, then I know she overspent on stuff we don't need.
Yeah.
And I'll go, oh, this is different. We needed this?
Yeah, we had a great sale. Yep.
That's every time.
Number 2, buying something and not letting on. So, like, not letting them, they just discover it months later.
It happens at our house all the time. I go, hey, will we get the new planters this year? Yeah, did you see those?
Oh, my God, there's a common theme with all of these. And number 1, claiming something cost less than it did. So... that would be lying.
Y'all are some scandalous liars.
We are. And we were built for it. I think it's in our DNA. I was chatting with one of my friends that I've met through Liam's baseball the other night, and we were just kind of hanging out, and she was talking about how she busted her 7-year-old daughter going into her purse because the ice cream truck is already out. And you hear it coming from a mile away. Gave her enough time to run inside and grab some money out of her purse. And she said she didn't make a stink about it, but then she went out, she watched her get the popsicle, and then the daughter came in and she said, hey, where'd you get that ice cream? And she goes, the ice cream truck. She goes, where'd you get the money for the ice cream? And she goes, my room. So she lied about it, stole and lied. And she's like, we're not doing that in this house. So she now has to do 4 chores because the ice cream she got was $4. So I'm like, okay, teach her a little lesson. But I had to tell my mom over the weekend that I don't know how we got on the topic, but I remember my senior year, I had no money. I had a car. I had to gas it up. And so I went into her wallet, grabbed out her checkbook, took the check out, signed it.
Forged a check.
$20 to the gas station down the street. But I was even smart enough because I didn't want her to be off by money that I flipped over and wrote it in the ledger and I wrote $20. But I matched her handwriting so it almost looked like she'd be like, oh, yeah, I did get gas that day. But I was like, I'm in the safe zone because I've been out of high school for almost 20 years.
She can't punish you anymore, right?
I know. But she could ask for the $20 back, I guess.
You know you're not going to give it to her.
But I'm not. But I just tell Liam, listen, if you need something, we'll work out a way to get it. Don't steal from people. That's not a way to go. But did you ever steal anything from your parents at all?
Yeah. So my cousin Jason was a single child, and he got basically everything he wanted, right? And he would get money every week from his parents. I got money when I would work. I didn't just get money.
But now where's Jason? Probably in jail, right?
No.
Oh.
He had a pretty nasty battle with COVID, though.
Oh, that guy. Oh, okay.
I feel bad. You should, too. So here's what I was going to get to.
Sorry.
Before you started insulting my family.
I didn't insult
He'd always want to go to the Dairy Queen, and it was a walk away, right? And he always had money. My dad had this 5-gallon whiskey jar, like it's a glass jar, a big one, right? Yeah. And he would throw all his spare change in every day. Spare change. So for a solid year, I would take out every time I wanted to go to the Dairy Queen with him because I knew it was $1.06.
Yeah.
It was 99 cents plus tax to get a hot fudge sundae. I would take out dimes, nickels, pennies to get $1.06. So I'd run to my parents' room. I'd open the closet. I'd dump it out. I'd sort it out in the carpet.
Gotta get my ice cream.
I'd sort it out in the carpet. I'd take $1.06. I'd jam it in my pocket. I'd pick up all the... And the reason I got busted is because I had left change in the carpet that I was in such a hurry to get up and out.
Yeah.
My dad comes home from work and steps on a quarter and he goes,
oh, no.
Oh, what? And in his mind, I'm sure at one point he had to be like, I've been putting a lot of money in this.
Yeah.
It just seems to not be there. That was the start of it. Then I started stealing warm Pfeiffers. So when I was
see, it's a gateway.
A sophomore in high school, the chocolate covered sundaes is the hot fudge sundae is a gateway. But my parents would drink Pfeiffer beer and they would get it in this case like of returnables.
Yeah.
And I would, when my parents would be out, I'd steal a warm one because what would they do is they take 12 beers, cold, but they put them in the refrigerator. And then when they were done with that bottle, they'd put it back in the case. And the case would sit in our walk-in closet. And so what I would do to make sure that the count wasn't off or anything like that, I'd take a warm one so that they never knew it was,
Yeah.
And it was the only way I could get away with sneaking beer from my parents. So I'd drink.
You've been a delinquent your whole life.
It was such a low point when I look back at it. I'm like,
yeah.
You drank warm Pfeiffers.
I did pick up refries on the road, though, and try smoking cigarettes.
But that wasn't stealing for your parents.
No, that's true.
It's a low point. Stacey!
Good morning.
Hi.
How you feeling today?
I am doing well. Thank you. How about yourself?
We're doing all right in here. We were talking and kind of opened the conversation about, when you stole from your parents. So Kat stole a car. I stole warm beer. You stole...
I kind of followed in Kat's footsteps, honestly. We were 16. One of my friends was 18. We decided to take my mom and dad's car and a little bit of their cash and went to Valley Fair for the day. Got jacked up on sugar. Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do it, that's how you do it. You don't just go down the street. You went all the way.
You guys are such amateurs. Stealing a car is such a big thing. You're going to notice a missing vehicle.
Well, the best part is one of my friends was a mechanic, so we actually undid the speedometer wiring, and so then when we drove back, it reversed our mileage.
You mean odometer?
Odometer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. So this is like a Ferris Bueller's trick.
This is like a Matilda trick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So my dad was not sure if he should be mad that we took the car
or impressed,
or if you should be impressed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the miles are still put on the tread. It's not like it did anything.
How far away from Valley Fair do you live?
2.5 hours.
Wow,
So
this was...
we were about 115. Now, keep in mind, this was in the 90s.
Yeah.
So it didn't have the computerization.
And there's no way of getting a hold of you. They couldn't call your cell phone and track you down.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yep. So we had a great day. So Dad wasn't sure if he should be happy or impressed or kind of mad.
How much
but we had a great day.
How much cash did you take?
Well, we just took like $60-$70 enough to get us into the fair and then into Valley Fair and then enough for food and then we came home.
Yep. Okay.
What was the punishment?
Yeah. Well, I couldn't drive my car for a little while.
Okay.
So the difference was you were 16 when you took the car. I had just turned 13.
I got to rewind here real quick, Stacy. You had your own car, but you still chose to steal your parents'. Was it that much nicer or what?
Yeah.
All right, you wanted luxury.
It was a nice truck. Yeah. And my car was, beat up and, 16-year-olds aren't supposed to have that nice type of vehicle, So, yeah, we went on a joyride with Mom and Dad's car.
How about these other delinquents? What are they doing right now? Are they successful members of our community or have they?
They are.
They are? You bring this up when you see them?
Yes, every so often. One of them is actually a police officer.
Oh, yeah.
You saw that one coming, didn't you?
That's the thing. And he's probably one of the best out there because they know what they're looking for. It's just like Derek and I tell Liam all the time. I said, listen, between your dad and I, we've done it all. And so don't try to hide a thing. We're going to sniff it out.
Started the conversation this morning about the stuff you stole from your parents. I forgot to tell you. My dad had like several survival knives from when he was in the special forces, but I had taken one with me to college. And I had it I had taken one of his footlockers actually too. You know what I mean? Like I showed up like at college looking like I had been in the military for a couple of years already.
A poser.
Like everything I had, like I had my dad's big old duffel bag. I had his footlocker, which is perfect for a dorm room. And inside the footlocker, I remember I had like socks and underwear in my footlocker because it was a dorm room. You didn't have a lot of room, but I had taken one of his survival knives too.
Yeah.
Just thinking, well, you never know. And I remember showing my roommate, we move in together. I'm like, dude, look at this. And it's super sharp and it's got the serrated edge and it's got the compass and everything like that. And
you said to yourself, you never know.
Hey, you never know.
Like when I signed up for college, I didn't ever think I need a survival knife.
I just was like, you never know. Be prepared. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I had left it on top of the footlocker and our RA had walked by.
Oh, no.
And when I came back from lunch that day, security standing there. They're like, you need this weapon, sir? I go, I don't need it, but it's mine.
Yeah.
You can't bring a weapon onto campus.
Okay.
I'm like,
makes sense.
I didn't know. And I remember having to tell the old man, hey, I stole one of your survival knives. If you want it, you have to go to campus security and sign it out. And then when he came to pick me up, it must have been Thanksgiving or Christmas break. Yeah, let's wander over there. Let's go get my knife back. He wasn't like super mad about it, but it was just at that point where you're like, you don't want to have to tell him about it. So the things you stole from your parents, that's what we're looking for today. Now, I appreciate you holding, Melissa. What did you do?
I sent my 18-year-old daughter to prison for stealing checks out of our checkbook and forging my name.
Kat did this with her mom, and I don't think it was probably the same thing, though, right?
She was in a little bit of trouble. She was at a bad spot in time there, and she was forging checks out of my husband and our checkbook. And she'd been in and out of trouble here and there, and they weren't doing anything. And so she was 18, and she was forging my name, and I said, enough is enough. I've got to do something. And she ended up going to prison for 3 months.
Dang.
That is tough love.
I mean, that has to be the second conversation we've had over 2 weeks where people have called the cops on
Could you imagine ever calling the authorities on your baby boy and sending him away?
I don't know until I'm in that spot. If I know it's going to be a better choice for the rest of his life, could I do that to him? I don't know. But if you're in a bad spot and you're stealing your parents' money and they're in a bad spot, I mean, geez. It was $20. I only took $20 from my mom. Don't act like
and a car.
She wasn't using it.
Mom, I see the car sitting in the driveway every day. Let me just grab that real quick from you.
It wasn't a bonus car. We had an extra car.
God, I hate how rich you were. I just do. It makes me so angry to hear how rich you were. Hey, Kat.
Yeah?
Who has 2 thumbs and got the Wordle in 3 today?
Oh, my God. Who has 2 thumbs?
This guy.
And doesn't give a...
Why? Why are you hating on Wordle so bad?
I just don't know why.
It's such a small, fun, good... And you know what I like? There's a cadence that my wife and my daughter and I have, and we all do it every day, and then we text each other who got it the fastest and everything like that.
That's adorable.
And me getting it in 3 today, and it was a solid 3. It was. Is
there someone that gets it in 1?
If you get it, my daughter did once. So, like, there are certain words that you can start with that give you the best odds. And she has her one word that she thinks is going to give her the best odds, and she used it, and she got it in 1 once.
And they're all 4 letters?
5.
5 letters.
So if you come up with a 5-letter word, and then it'll tell you whether the letter is in the word or in the exact spot.
Yeah.
And I think the one time she started with, like, crisp or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And it was actually the word. And I was like, what? I didn't know anybody that ever got 1 in 1.
Sure.
Like,
now you do.
3 is great. 6 is, like, barely made it, right?
Yeah.
But,
wouldn't even talk about
but yep, so 3 today.
Cool.
A couple of days ago, Kat's out doing a radio station appearance and runs across a young woman named Jessica. And Jessica says, oh my gosh, I used to be JJ's intern like 150 years ago. Yep. And you strike up a conversation. And when you came back to the studio, we were like, do you remember Jessica? And I'm like, we've had a lot of interns through here, and I don't. And she's like, oh my God, she wants to know if we'll set her up on a date on the radio. And I was like, Rrr.
We would never turn someone down that wants to find love and use us as just a platform to do so. And so I said, listen, come on Tuesday, but you have to be prepared. Have like pros and cons ready and let us know like why you're such an asset and what you're looking for too.
Her phone is ringing right now, so hang on.
Good morning.
Hi, Jessica. How are you?
Fine. How are you,
It's been a hot minute. How long ago were you an intern here?
06.
06,
Holy
Benny.
cow,
I know.
That's amazing. And so since then, what have you been up to?
I used to teach preschool when I moved to the area, and now I'm in banking.
So this is where I met her last week, and she just said, hey, do you guys still do that like matchmaking bit on your show? I said, well, we've done it a couple of times. Why? She goes, because I need a boyfriend. I'm 35. Or you're 35 or 36?
Nope, 35. Not need. Want.
Not want.
Oh,
want. Not
yeah.
need. She's not needy. She's wanty.
That's right. You said, I don't need one to be happy. I would just like a companion. And this girl, bubbly, awesome personality, and she is good at money. She can manage money for you.
Well, plus she interned here. I mean, so obviously that's the beginning of the resume that, she turned her internship into a fine career in broadcasting, obviously.
So one thing I told you to have ready, Jessica, was 3 pros and 3 cons about yourself, okay?
Yep, and I had my family and friends help this wedding weekend.
Okay, so they helped you compile your list. So go through it. What are the 3 pros for Jessica?
So, kind of like you said, fun and has some great stories.
Okay.
Of course, I make some mean banana bread with chocolate chips.
What?
That's the way to the man's heart through their stomach.
You got JJ, and he's married.
Yeah, I love that chocolate chip banana bread.
All right.
I know where you're at, JJ. I could drop some off.
And finally?
And I love to travel.
Okay, so you just sound like you'd be a promising pick. What are your cons, though? Because this could be a hang-up for people.
Yep, I do stay pretty busy. I do work 2 jobs. I have a full-time and a part-time.
Okay.
So the groom actually said this. So when I'm passionate about something, I do go above and beyond, which can be a good and a bad, because then I get myself into sticky situations or, spend more money than I should and all that. But,
okay.
And then a random one is that I leave half-drink bottles of pop and water around.
Who knows if that's a bugaboo for somebody? They might have just checked
somebody
you
might
off.
Finish them for me.
There it is. She's a sharer.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's about you. Let's just say, what is the one thing, maybe 2 things that you're looking for in a guy? And then we'll just kind of put this out to the universe and see if we get any nibbles.
Absolutely. They too have to they don't have to be outgoing, but I do spend a lot of time with my family and friends. So that's a huge thing. Caring and then loyal is huge. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I'm too picky. I would like them to want to have kids someday, maybe, but.
Sure. Okay. 35-year-old Jessica in baking, looking for a boyfriend that she wants, not needs. And she'll make you some killer chocolate chip banana bread and manage your money.
And maybe they don't live at home still.
Oh, yeah. You can't be too picky, girl. Don't do that.
Hey, let me ask you one thing.
I have to. That's huge.
If you look back on failed relationships, what do you think has been like one of the catalysts? I hear you say they have to be faithful and loyal. So I'm guessing at one point you ran into somebody who wasn't.
Correct. Yep. I've been cheated on probably 3 out of 5 relationships.
Gosh.
All right. One thing we do need to know is that you're not carrying that from relationship to relationship, are you? You're going to start fresh with this person?
I am. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to put your photo up on our Facebook story right now, and people can go check that out on Snapchat as well and see what we're working with and see if we can get you a date. Okay, Jessica? And you know what? Your first date, we'll pay for it at a pizza place.
Yeah,
or
we'll buy you guys some food and drinks and stuff. I think this is so cool because this might be a full circle. Like, oh my God, she interned here 16 years ago, and now we're gonna find her life mate. I feel good about this. So, like all the free work you did for us, it's our chance to repay you 16 years ago
with a pizza.
Got a postcard today from McMurdo Station, Antarctica.
That is so cute.
Kind of looks like if you flew a drone over Holdingford at night.
It kind of looks like Reno. The
biggest little city in the world?
The biggest little
on the
city
back.
in the world.
Love the show. Your Arctic engineer.
There's literally nothing to do, I feel.
Guys, hold up. Did you see the post date on this? You didn't see it, did you?
So today is May 24th. When did
Today is May 24th. To get a postcard from Antarctica to us, he mailed it
April 29th.
It took a month to get here.
Oh, my God. No way. Great. Totally worth the wait. I know you're listening, Tony. We miss you. But
Tony.
Don't waste your time on
this thing spent a month with the U.S. mail, and all you put on here was love the show?
Did you send it to all the shows in the building or just us?
Good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
You have actual brand loyalty to the mothership?
Let's see.
Or do you stray to the flavor of the day? Good question. With the brand new Top Gun Maverick movie coming out. Now, if you've been privileged enough to see a sneak peek of it, it looks like it's going to be pretty awesome. They say see it on the biggest screen you can.
Yeah.
Because it is that full of goody goodness. So, a lot of Tom Cruise stuff in the news, including Tom Cruise's 21 best performances, according to BuzzFeed.
His Mission Impossible trailer came out, too.
Yeah, that got leaked, right?
Yeah.
That's not even out till 2023. By the way, if you look at what they've said are the best 21 performances of Tom Cruise's life, Cocktail did not make the list.
What? Out of 21?
Even the first 5 Mission Impossible movies did not crack the top 21. Let me give you the top 5. Jerry Maguire, Collateral, number 3, Born on the 4th of July, number 2, Magnolia, and numero uno.
Lieutenant Kendrick ordered the code red, didn't he? Because that's what you told Lieutenant Kendrick to do.
Object! And when it went bad, you cut these guys loose! Your Honor, you had markets inside a phony transport. Your Honor, you doctored the logbook. Damn it, Captain! You coerced the doctor.
Consider yourself in contempt.
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
That's number 1.
That's good.
It gave me chills just listening to that.
I feel like I know what you're going to say as your favorite.
Well, first, what's yours?
Mine is Tropic Thunder. I could watch Tropic Thunder every day for the rest of my life.
They couldn't make that movie right now.
They couldn't. No. It's not very PC, but he comes out, he's Les Grossman. Really disgusting. This fat movie producer.
I think it's great.
Got all the money in the clout, and then what song is it? Is it a Luda song where he's like,
yeah,
what is it at the end? I watch it so much and I can't believe it. Yeah, it is.
Is it? Get out the way.
Get out, something like that. But he's so good in it. It almost makes you forget that he's like crazy into Scientology and like has covered up things.
Maybe.
Allegedly.
For me, it's easy. The Color of Money is,
That's what I thought you were
is my
say.
favorite movie of all time, and he plays Fast Eddie Philson's little protege. So I just want you to text in real quick your favorite Tom Cruise movie.
People are texting in Risky Business.
Oh, that didn't make the list either.
The Firm, that's a good one. Rock of Ages.
By the way, Eyes Wide Shut, Tropic Thunder, Rain Man, Interview with a Vampire all make the top 10. But what's yours?
All right, so there's this doctor that kind of giving us some insight into what he found after a procedure.
So we start the colonoscopy. We find the site where he previously had surgery to remove the cancer and had his colon reattached. It looked fine. I get to the cecum, and I'm looking around. I know something's silver. So I spray the area with water, and I find a dime. FDR's face staring back at me. A dime in the cecum. We used a special net tool to grab the dime and removed it. The patient woke up from anesthesia and told me he had never swallowed a dime before. So we gave him the dime and sent him on his way. That guy's made him money.
A dime in your cecum, or are you just happy to see me?
So he's never swallowed money before, but he's got a dime way up there.
They say it did not look like he shoved it up there. I don't know what good that would do for you to shove a dime up your booty. I think he swallowed it.
I was in the ER when a guy had put a Matchbox car up there.
That's different.
What good does that do a guy?
It will never do anyone good to shove anything up your booty. But what about the other end? The swallowing situation. My little brother was notorious for putting I had a Lisa Frank bead set, and he would just it looked like a bunch of candy to him. He was 2-3 years old. He went to the doctor twice for putting it up the same nostril in the same week. My mom had to bring it back.
How many of those do you think he swallowed, though?
I have no idea. I don't even want to know.
His poop looked like the 4th of July.
Yeah, came out as a bracelet.
You got to see, you turn that into money.
Yeah.
Now, Mila, how we feeling today?
Mila.
Good. I saw your text, and as we're going to talk about things that you've actually swallowed throughout your life, you'd like to highlight your little brother who is talented at swallowing.
Poop.
Poop.
Poop? And, you got to break down the story.
Yeah, what happened? How did he swallow poop?
Shut the radio off so you can hear us.
Well, he had gone to the bathroom, and when he came out, he had this little stain around his mouth.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, Ray, did you eat your poop? And he's like, yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't alive at that time. He's older than me.
Yeah.
But my mom tells me that story every morning.
Yeah. All right. You got to turn your radio down, please, because I'm hearing everything that we're saying. Yeah. All right. But I just want to verify real quick that your brother was at the doctor, and then at the doctor he ate his own poops.
He was at home.
At home, okay. Gotcha.
So then they'd
run to the ER. Yeah.
All right. And what happened? They just told him to drink a bunch of water and flush that out, and it's going to be the same color as it came in?
Something like that. Okay.
All right, we're having a disconnect here. Thanks, Milo. We appreciate it. All right, so good starter. Good starter on the bit. Good starter.
All right, strangest thing that you swallowed.
Radio Paparazzi.
All right, so some people are trying to say that, this interview that Will Smith gave right before the Oscars, this really does explain a lot about why he would slap Chris Rock. I don't think so.
I've always thought of myself as a coward. When I was, 9 years old, I saw my father beat up my mother, and I didn't do anything. That just left a traumatic impression of myself as a coward.
Okay.
I get it, man. You're wrestling with some demons, and that's not easy, but you can't just up and hit people.
You just can't. And you're taught that since you were little. But I guess if you see it while you're growing up. So on Monday, yesterday, something happened during the Johnny Depp trial, which people are like, now it's really turning into a circus. The fact that people could wait on the street, get a ticket for the show, and sit in there and just kind of break out with news like that.
As we were taking that morning break, everybody stood up, right? All of a sudden, this woman stands up in the back of the courtroom bedroom with her baby, and she says, "Johnny, I love you. Our souls are connected." And he kind of turned and waved, as he does sometimes. And she held up the baby, and she said, "This baby is yours." And everybody was like, "Oh, whoa, okay." And the deputy's like, "You're out of here."
Yeah.
Got to chuck her.
You can't just go in there and cause a ruckus like that. It's not his baby. The kid Leroy, however, would like to have a baby of his own.
Like in the next couple years, I want to just like buy a house in the middle of the world somewhere, and then just like go MIA and just like build a family or something.
That sounds like a good idea.
How old is kid Leroy? 18 years old. What were you going to say?
I was going to say he's like 20.
18 years old. His girlfriend is about the same. And he just basically got on the scene, and now he's ready to move along and have some babies. That's a little crazy, but whatever floats your boat. Blowing out their candle today, G-Eazy is turning 33. Tommy Chong is 84, and Bob Dylan is 81.
Let's begin now.
If we proceed to get the Tuesday show flowing, Kat would say,
hello. I'm posting on socials. I am so excited to have Jessica on. I can't even tell you.
So last week, Kat goes, "Hey, I had this gig, and this was at Gate City Bank.
Yes.
And I met this girl named Jessica. She was your intern." I go,
I know you can't even remember last week, but I'm like, yeah, this was before I even came. So there was like a good year that you were with somebody else here. And she, I guess, was your intern for a few months. And she has one of the best personalities of anyone I know. And she goes, "Hey, do you guys still do like the love making, not love making, love
connection,
matchmaking, whatever." And I said, "Yeah, we could do that." And she goes, "Because I really want a boyfriend." And I go, "Let's do it." And so she's going to call in today and give her pros and cons, and then what she's looking for.
I clearly don't remember this girl interning for us. And listen, it's not that I was never grateful for somebody to come in here early in the morning and work for us for free.
Yeah.
But
we've had so many.
The other part is, like, if you have an athlete in your family, and it's good that there's now a concussion protocol, because I should remember people that spent multiple months in this little room with me.
I think it's daily. I get the eyes from you where you're just like, I don't remember.
Getting worse all the time. Like, I fear by the time I'm in my 60s, I won't remember my name, but I'm okay with living that happy idiot life. What'd you do yesterday? Give me something fun.
I hung out at the Bulldog Snack Shack. That's what it's called now.
Give it a name.
On the concession stand. Yeah, I had to go swap out some cash, and then our volunteers showed up, and Liam had baseball practice last night, and then they have a game tonight, so I'm like, I'll just hang out. And so we made some change last night, so that was nice, and then went home, and Derek had grilled chicken drumsticks waiting for us with big chunks of like potato salad. It was so good.
Now, do you have eggs in your potato salad or not?
This one, no. I got it from
Celery?
Costco. No, I didn't make it.
Oh.
I got it from Costco. I don't make my food. What do you do? What? I don't have time for that. And then watched some 90 Day Fiance and got in bed. It was like one of those nights where you're just like, over it.
As you become older and more mature, you start thinking back in the day when I was young and dumb and having fun. I wish I would have known a lot of stuff. Now, there are individual things that everybody goes back in their life and wish you would have not done, wish you would have done at the moment, stuff like that. But I ran across this list of personality traits that people develop later in life that they wish they would have had a lot earlier.
Yeah.
So think about things, if you're in your 30s, think about things as far as your personality goes that you wish you would have had when you were in your 20s. And if you're in your 20s, think about your teens. And if you're in your 50s, think about your 40s. So think about something maybe 10 years ago that you wish you would have had as part of your personality that you have now.
I would say my... and I shouldn't say I don't care, because I do care, but I care a little bit more about the things that matter the most, if that makes any sense.
You were able to triage your priorities.
Yes, and there were people that I really did care about what they thought about me, and it's so true. It's just like, I always say, if teenage girls had that we have in our 30s and 40s, like that sense of, I don't really care what she thinks of me. There is nothing that she can do to influence my life in any way. They would rule the world. And I feel like Jennifer Aniston said it best. She's like 40. That's when you start really living, because you just like go throughout your day living for you and the people that you love, rather than people that are super insignificant in your life.
10 years ago, I wish I would have learned a better balance. I mean, I really worked 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I've been able to shut it off a little bit better right now. Like, I'm still working on things that need to get worked on. But if I would have had that 10 years ago, I think I'd be a happier human. But here are the other things that made the list, by the way. Decisiveness, the ability to just make a decision and stick with it.
I've always been able to decide things, so I'm good on that. My mom, however, is just like...
She's a waffler?
It's crazy. She has had the same 5 color swatches on her wall for 15 years. And you're supposed to, if you're a new person in her life and come into the house, you have to sign which swatch you like the most. And then I think in the next 50 years, she's going to choose that paint color if it's still around.
Jesus.
It's bad.
Number 3 is the ability to tell yourself to shut up when you start overthinking.
Yeah,
I've never had that problem. I just go.
Yeah.
Like, I rarely think it through. Number 2 is firmness. So, like, to have boundaries, ask for needs and wants. I rarely ask for needs. I just rarely ask for things.
Yeah, that was one
do
thing.
It myself.
I wish I had better negotiating skills, but when you go into a situation, you don't know what the expectation really is as far as salary.
But you have to be prepared to fail. You have to be prepared for no. And if you prepare for no, then yes is a bonus.
Yeah.
That's the way I've always looked at things. And then the number one thing, again, these are personality traits that people developed a little bit later in life, but they really wish they would have had like 10 years earlier. Number 1, the ability to not take things personally.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And be willing to be indifferent.
That's the thing. If you take it personally, I mean, especially over text and email, like... There is so much that's lost in translation. Don't you feel like there are people that are like, are you mad at me?
No.
Why? Well, you put a period instead of an exclamation point. It's
I think this was probably 15 years ago for me that I learned, like, I don't take things personally because there's like a dozen people in my life that I actually care what they think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when it affects my life, like if you think I did something at work and that's not up to par, that's fine and that's good for you to think, but I will never take that personally. I'll just go, all right, well, you're not seeing it the right way. But if people, criticize my personal life, there's, like I said, maybe 15 people that I would actually take something personally from.
Yeah.
So I think I've done a pretty good job with that.
That list has grown. It used to be like just a few.
Yeah.
So,
well, you got me on a good day.
So here, listen to this guy. He has just had it with his neighbor's dog. So he developed a way to, it's called the Dog Zapper 2000 or something like that.
So my neighbor got a dog and the damn thing barks nonstop. I mean, I roll over in my bed in my own room in my own house and this damn dog barks at me. So I went ahead and built this invention, the Dog Zapper 2000.
That's laughing.
So it's like a horn.
Yeah.
That when the dog barks, the horn happens. So
the neighbor is going to say, hey, why are you honking that horn all the time? It's like, why is your dog barking all the time? We had a post, I'm trying to find it, on our development Facebook page. And it was so passive aggressive.
Here it is. Mine.
Whoever has the large dog that has been barking for 45 minutes nonstop, please put him inside. Thank you. And it's very easily identifiable as whose dog it is, because it's outside in front of the house. And this woman whose dog it is comments below, sorry, I'm at work. Can't.
That's great.
I just love that.
That's
because
great.
We have a neighborhood full of houses that have very large dogs. Like we have a corner house that has 3 Great Danes, 5 humans, 4 cats, some rabbits. I mean, it's
partridge in a pear tree.
It's a zoo. And then 2 doors down from us, we have 2 massive dogs that sit out on the deck and bark all day. Yes, they bark all day. We have 2 yippers across the street, and they bark at everything. A blade of grass moves, they bark. So you can only imagine. That's why I don't nap anymore. I can't, because these dogs are all outside constantly.
My dog, if a truck rolls through our cul-de-sac,
no.
And
so you have the dog.
Yeah, I have the dog in the neighborhood, and here's why. At an early age, we bought the dog the training collar. All right, for our dog. 3 settings. Number 1. bzz, buzzes. Doesn't shock, just buzzes, vibrates. Number 2, beeps. Beep, beep. Number 3, you can set it from 0 to 100 as far as it's going to give them a little shock, right? So my wife's never can shock the dog. It's her dog. Never can shock the dog. I go, all right, let's train it with the buzzer and the beep. We do it all the time. But my wife, in her infinite wisdom, just somehow conveniently makes sure that the dog collar or the controller never has a charge.
Yeah. She just wants to save
years and years of being able to train this dog could be happening. And here's what happens. Somebody comes to the door or it rings the doorbell. That dog, if I hit the buzzer, bzz, not shocking, just buzzing the dog, it immediately sits and it sits.
Okay.
Stops barking. It is trainable. It's a smart dog, but my wife will not enforce this. And so here's what the other thing our dog does. We have all sorts of wildlife around our house now. These deer are coming up and they're eating our hostas and everything like that. And I don't mind having I'll plant new ones because I think it's cool when the deer come across our neighborhood. But our dog will stand 10 feet away and these deer are not affected anymore.
Yeah.
And our dog, for 10 minutes, if you don't correct it, and she'll catch her breath. And it's the same loud. And that deer will look at it like, you stupid, stupid animal.
That's so rude that you let her bark that much. I can't believe you don't have anonymous notes in your mailbox constantly or bleached lawns. Like that would be my next
I guess
step.
That's why it's good to have cameras up everywhere.
I guess so.
But we have the dog and I'm not home all the time. My wife works from home. She has several opportunities before noon every day to train that dog. Mm-hmm. And she just won't do it.
Oh, man.
So we got the dog in the neighborhood.
All right.
Driving me crazy.
Who has that dog in the neighborhood? And I want to know, like, why you're okay with that. I want to know why you're okay with maybe a neighbor that works starting at 4 a.m. until 11 wants to come home and take a little siesta before she has to get her kid at 2:40. I want to know why you're okay with having that dog. Why are you not taking the proper steps to make sure that your neighbors are fine living where they're living? They hate you. Remember when I said yesterday I was going to go Facebook Live at Midwest Clinic of Dermatology, and then I forgot to look at my planner, and it was actually today?
You know, it's really weird because somebody had emailed us about this.
Yeah.
And I looked back on our Facebook feed, and I thought maybe you had said something or there was music in the background that got us kicked off. Because you're usually good about posting that, and usually you're really good about planning, and you would never screw up something with a client that is on the air in front of thousands of people like that.
So last check, I was human, and I'll be there today, and I'll give away.
Sure it's today?
A Fatona 4D facelift worth over $1,000 for you because I love you, and just wanted to give you an extra heads up. That's why I talked about it yesterday.
And now another post from Aunt Nora.
Plants bring space to life, but also bring life to a space. Plant spiders have made themselves at home, and let's just say I wasn't prepared for guests. Suggestions for organic insect repellent? TIA. I'm very impressed that she knows it. Thanks in advances. But Ray, her friend from Knights of Columbus, says organic. Get the hard stuff. Kill them dead.
That was another post from Cat's Aunt Nora.
So weird.
Weird stuff.
Everybody called me weird. I am weird.
You don't think this is a little weird? No, I don't think it's weird at all.
Weird news.
All right, so just imagine you live in like a housing development, and then all of a sudden, right next door, a sign for a strip club goes right outside your window, and it says, future site of the Hoochie Hut.
It's not appropriate. I'm glad I don't have kids here. The only thing that'd be worse for lowering your property value would be if you have a bad school district. It would be better if this was a sewer plant than a strip joint.
I don't think it's real. It's just his way of striking back at the neighbor who questioned what his intent was for the property.
You think he's joking by putting a Hoochie Hut sign up?
I don't know, but I feel bad because on the bottom of the sign it says a few pretty girls and some ugly ones.
That's something. I saw that in Vegas.
A few pretty girls and some ugly
Vegas
ones?
or Atlanta. One of the I remember seeing this. I remember walking by and seeing a sign that said, whatever's Timmy's Strip Club, a few pretty girls and a lot of ugly ones. I remember seeing this somewhere. This is a thing.
How do you know which one you are? Oh.
I think listen.
At the end of the night when you count.
When you're ugly, you know you're ugly.
That's not true.
I know I'm ugly.
Is it because
Thanks for the argument. Yeah, thank you. All right.
That's weird.
Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Jeffrey, who is able to clear up, hopefully, some of the words on the strip club situation here.
I used to drive by Deja Vu in Minneapolis, and it said hundreds of beautiful women and 3 ugly ones, and it said it forever. I don't know if it still does, but it used to for sure.
That's so terrible. That's not nice.
Yeah.
It's not. If you're a pretty one, it's not terrible. It just means, you know.
But why would they hire ugly ones?
Well, there's Wednesday afternoon shift.
Yeah, that's the problem with our society, too, though, is because that just causes anxiety for all of them, because all of them am I one of the 3?
Can you imagine sitting in the back room?
Am I
one of the
them?
3?
No, Bertha, you are not.
Bailey, would you be one of the 3?
I don't know.
That's a long pause there,
I think you're being humble, so that's good. I think you'd be one of the hundreds of the cute ones.
So we announced that we were going to play Radio Rock, Paper, Scissors, and when I answered the phone, Bailey said...
rock, paper, scissors, question mark?
Were you doing speak to text, but you were actually talking to a human?
I mean, I do it all the time, so I'm just tired.
So when you talk with your friends, if you ask them a question, you'll actually say question mark at the end of the question?
Not all the time, no.
But sometimes is a lot of time, I think, when you do something like this.
Well, I'm ready to play you, exclamation point, so let's go.
Here we go, comma, Bailey. It's going to work like this. I will say 1, 2, 3, shoot, and then both you and Kat throw down either your rock, paper, scissors. Best 2 out of 3 wins. Are you ready to go, question mark?
Yes.
Good luck, Bailey.
Send. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Rock.
Paper.
I think she said paper.
Yeah. All right, you're on it. You're not that tired.
Bailey, for the win. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Paper.
Scissors.
Hey, Bailey! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Hand clap. Praise hands. Big muscle.
Okay. Crying, laughing. Alert light.
100. Bailey, congratulations.
Man.
This is off the rails, but we're going to make sure you get loaded down with some really cool Playhouse swag for the summer, okay?
Yay, that's awesome.
Exclamation point.
All right. By hand.
Is it dead? Is it done now?
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend.